Welcome to the Growth Lab channel. Today, we are running a full systems check on the most powerful piece of hardware you will ever own, your brain. We're going to find the bugs, clear out the junk files, and install a serious science-backed upgrade. Let's get into it.
You know that feeling, right? It's the middle of the afternoon, you're staring at your screen, but your brain is, well, it's also planning dinner, replaying a weird conversation from yesterday, and stressing about an email you totally forgot to send.
Exactly. You're desperately trying to focus on that one important thing, but your mind feels like this chaotic browser session from the 90s, and the tab you actually need is just gone. It is so frustrating.
So here's the good news. Deep breath, you're not broken, you're not losing your mind. This is basically a feature of living in the modern world, not some fatal flaw in your programming. Your brain's operating system is just dealing with a few, let's call them performance issues.
But what if you could patch those bugs? What if you could clear the mental cache and install a brand new toolkit designed to boost your performance? Well, that is exactly what we're going to do today, using a super simple three-pillar system.
First things first, we have to start with the basics. I mean, you wouldn't put cheap, watery gas in a Ferrari, right? So why are we fueling our own personal supercomputer with junk? Pillar number one is all about fuel.
Brain health experts over at Baycrest have made this super simple for us. On one side, you've got your premium brain foods. Think berries, leafy greens, healthy fats from fish and nuts. And on the other side, the brain drains. The processed, sugary stuff that just clogs up the whole system. The takeaway here is really clear. What you eat directly impacts how you think.
And the best part? You don't need to completely overhaul your diet overnight. Seriously, it's all about making small, smart swaps. Try to eat a rainbow of colorful fruits and veggies. Maybe grill your food instead of frying it. Snack on some nuts instead of chips. And, you know this one, drink more water. These little upgrades make a huge difference.
All right, fuel tank is topped off. Now let's get to the real game changer here. Pillar 2, focus. This is where we learn how to grab the steering wheel of our brain's attention system and point it wherever we want, on command.
This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? When you absolutely positively have to get something done, how do you shut out all the noise and just lock in? Well, the answer is pretty cool, and it lies in understanding two key chemicals your brain uses to aim your attention.
Okay, first up is a chemical called acetylcholine. Stanford neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman has this great analogy for it. He calls it your brain's spotlight. When it gets released, it's like a bright beam shines on one specific thing, telling your entire nervous system, hey, pay attention to this right now. Nothing else matters. But of course, a spotlight isn't much use if your brain is half asleep. And that's where epinephrine, you know it as adrenaline, comes in. Think of it as your brain's alarm clock. It jolts you into a state of alertness. See, to really truly focus, you need both the alertness and the spotlight working together. So how do we flip the switch on these chemicals? Dr. Huberman explains this brilliantly simple trick. It turns out your mental focus follows your visual focus. So to activate your brain's focus circuits, you just pick a single point in front of you and stare at it. For about 60 seconds, just narrow your field of vision. Your brain will naturally release acetylcholine and epinephrine, creating this cone of attention. And your mental focus, it has no choice but to follow. Seriously, try it next time you're distracted. It's like a manual override for your brain. And now, for the final piece of the puzzle. You can have the best fuel in the world and the sharpest focus, but if you don't have the motivation to get started, you're still stuck at zero. This brings us to our third and final pillar, drive. Check out this quote from research funded by the NIH. It's talking about so-called study drugs, and it reveals this massive secret about peak performance. The real bottleneck for most of us isn't our actual ability to do the work, it's our motivation to start the work in the first place. And that brings us to the famous chemical, dopamine. We always hear about it as the pleasure chemical, but that's not really the whole story. Research shows it's actually the motivation chemical. It works by changing your internal cost-benefit analysis, making the reward for doing something feel way bigger than the effort it takes. It's the thing that gets you over that giant wall of procrastination. Okay, so if we want to boost our drive, we need a way to reliably manage our own motivation system, right? Without doing anything extreme. So how can we do that? Well, here's one super powerful, accessible tool. A 2018 study found that just a single 10-minute meditation session can actually give you a significant boost in attention. It helps your brain manage its resources more efficiently, which is a simple, potent way to tune up those drive circuits when you need them. So,
There you have it. The upgrade is complete. Your system has been patched. Let's just do a quick recap of the simple, powerful toolkit you now have to boost your brain power anytime you want.
It all boils down to these 3 simple steps. First, fuel your brain with good stuff. Second, focus your mind by hijacking your visual system. And third, manage your drive by understanding how dopamine really works and using tools like a brief meditation. Fuel, focus, drive. That is your new operating system.
You know, your brain has this incredible built-in capacity for change. It's called neuroplasticity. It's not fixed hardware. It's software that you get to rewrite every single day. So the only real question left is, what are you going to change it into?
So what's your #1 focus hack? We'd love to hear it. Drop it in the comments below. And if you're ready for your next upgrade, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more explainers just like this one. Thanks for watching.